This is New Orleans, the home of the Saints, the purveyors of Mardi Gras, the home of the one and only French Quarter, and some of the best restaurants in the entire world. NOLA is a huge hospitality town, a city built on oil and gas, transportation and logistics, and of course, my favorite, travel and tourism. And that's why I got in touch with Augustus, convinced my production crew, Edgar and Eric, to go on an epic road trip to visit all of my hotel properties during the pandemic. Oh, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, and that too. And with the state of hospitality in critical condition, I felt compelled to visit my staff to at least show face and put eyes on my properties. So without any further ado, here's my Wyndham Garden in New Orleans, Louisiana.
We collide, we break down, caving in to our doubts, faces filled with sadness, when words are said, we'll regret.
Day 3, New Orleans. You know what that means. Let me show you my hotel. This hotel was purchased in 2015. Has a 4 points. We did a nice renovation, turned it into a full-service Wyndham Garden Inn. We got the food and beverage. Unfortunately, right now we're closed just due to the whole pandemic, but we're trying to keep it safe. We're cleaning all the surfaces and making sure that this is a nice and safe place for you to come and spend your travels. But don't worry, this isn't your average property tour. It's not what I'm here to do. I just want to tell you about how I got started, what the acquisitions process was when I decided to purchase this hotel. Once you have your capital, it's time to pull that trigger. And what I mean by that is to actually commit to your decision. I know, it's difficult. It's a risk that you have to take. You can win, you can lose. There's 2 parts of the equation, but you build that confidence through the process. And that process is underwriting. You want to underwrite to the best of your ability, utilizing the data that you have. The market, in terms of the competitive set, is all based on the Smith Travel Report, STR report. That report tells you the occupancy of the hotel, the rate, the ADR, the average daily rate, and when you do a multiplication factor, it equals the RevPAR, the revenue per available room. That breaks down each and every single room, the value that it has in terms of the asset. So with that, always remember to enjoy that underwriting process. The more you do it, the proof is in the pudding. The more you do it, the better it is. The better you're gonna get at it. You know, I gotta tell you, this one in particular is very, very different from anything that I've ever actually been through in my life, which probably isn't very much. But I gotta tell you, this one is so out of my control, so out of your control, so out of everyone's control, that it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating in the sense where everything's always constantly moving. There's no real target or goal in mind, and every time that you set up a solution or a game plan, something always winds up changing on you at the very last minute. And I mean, in terms of the travel and service and food and beverage industry, this pandemic has hit us extremely hard, and with no real solutions. I know there are innovative and creative solutions that humans will eventually come up with, and the industry will adjust and pivot, but ultimately at the end of the day, as of right now, as of today, we've just been playing defense this whole time. It's very hard to formulate an offense where you can't even really project what's about to happen or what's going to come in the future. I mean, as real estate developers, hoteliers, people in the service industry, we rely so heavily on our performance, on our projections, and what this property or this asset or this business is going to be doing in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. But to not be able to rely on that, to be able to just be at the mercy of this pandemic, and it's just very humbling. It's very humbling, and it's sometimes depressing. And I just wanted to come here and just be mindful of that, and just to know that there's just millions of people going through all this stuff. You're not alone. We're all in this together. I mean, it's not like we did anything wrong. You're not running a good business, or it just isn't about that anymore, right? It's just the industry has changed. The industry is changing. People just aren't traveling. You can't even really go outside. You got to wear your masks. We're focusing on our PPE, our protective equipment. Making sure our properties are clean, new cleaning or best practices. And the only things that you should really be focusing on are the things that you can really control. And the things that I've been able to control are what goes into my body, the nutrition that I take in, getting on a good sleep schedule, getting in a regular sleep pattern. I do a guided meditation called Headspace. That seems to help. And I do yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. She seems to be pretty good. She's got a pretty wide array of different yoga techniques and exercises for what you're feeling throughout the day. And then I take a cold shower. I make sure to wake my body up, get that circulation going. I take my vitamins. I go for walks. I like going on bike rides on the West Orange Trail. And what seems to help me the most is talking to my advisors, to my mentors, and people that are my peers, my friends, keeping in touch, and just really discussing things in terms of where everyone is. But again, everyone's in the same situation. The reality is the world has changed, and we're all trying to acclimate to it. We're all trying to adjust to it, and I just really wanted to be mindful of that. Join us on our next episode to Memphis, Tennessee.